First thing that they tell you is almost never the actual thing. Almost everybody has some sort of knee-jerk reaction, and they feel like they need to think about it. Welcome to an insurance playbook. I'm Jason Feldman, and we're going to go over right now how to overcome objections. This is the worst part, right? This is the part that every agent who's on the phone or in person in front of somebody fears the most. They go through an entire presentation, they give the price or whatever that final thing that they say. They wait to hear the answer, and they almost never get a okay, let's go forward, right? So there's going to be some sort of objection. We all know it. We all fear it. Okay. So there's a couple things going into how to overcome objections. I'm going to give a few tips here. First one is the mindset. First off is the mindset. Why do we talk about the mindset? Because the bottom line is you're going to hear objections. The more objections that you hear, the more you're going to close deals. It's a part of the process, so we can't be afraid of it. The other thing is when we hear an objection, we can't shut down. That is why we have meetings. You have to have meetings. This is why we practice. This is why we have a script. You have a script. You practice the script. You have meetings practicing the script so that when we come to this horrible part, right? The part that we fear, that we're not afraid of actually hearing the objection and then moving forward. Okay. So the first part is if you're not doing meetings and you're not studying scripts, like get that thing going. Once you do that, you should be confident enough that when you hear the objection, you don't freak out that much. So once you hear the objection, this is the framework. And this is a super simple framework. And if you follow this, it doesn't matter what the objection is, you're going to have a much better chance of finding out what the real objection is and being able to overcome it. Okay. The reason being is the first thing that they tell you is almost never the actual thing. Almost everybody has some sort of knee-jerk reaction. And they feel like they need to think about it. And they feel like I need to think about it. I don't want to move forward right now, whatever. So they're going to say anything at that point. So what the best way to handle this is the remove the objection. That's it. It's so simple. It's basically saying, let's say they say, well, I need to talk to my wife. Okay. Well, if you talk to your wife and she gave you the go ahead, would you want to start with me today? And then if they say, yeah, well, and then they might give you another objection. So let's give it a different example. Why don't you email me the quote? Okay, awesome. Well, I'm going to email you the quote, and I'm going to email it right now. And what other questions do you have? So what you're going to do is basically say, let's just say I'm going to my grandma's house. I don't have enough time right now. Well, if you had enough time right now, what do you think of the policy? Why don't we move forward? Isn't this something that you think your family deserves? Yeah, but I don't get paid till Friday. Okay, well, let's say it was Friday. If you had the money right now, would this policy be something that you would be interested in? Well, yeah. Okay, perfect. So why don't we just take let's just do this. Let's just lock in the rate right now. I'm going to take your credit card info and we're just going to make sure that this thing is locked up, ready to go for Friday, and Friday we'll get this thing started. So no matter what the objection is, practice. And I don't do this every day, so I'm not the smoothest at this at all. But practice the removing the objection, taking the objection and saying, okay, let's say this objection wasn't here. What do you think of what do you think of this? What would you want to start it today? Don't you think your family deserves this? Don't you think that this is great? Is this something that you think you deserve? Is this something that your family, like this much more coverage, is something that would help your family? You want to ask a lot of yes questions that you get yes answers to, so that it moves the process along. So That would be my biggest piece of advice, would be to just remove the objection and see what they would say. If the objection was removed, then would you basically want to start? Keep the conversation going. Don't stop the conversation, hang up the phone. There's no reason to. A lot of times, you'll get down to the very end and you'll remove a bunch of objections. And then all of a sudden they're like, you know what? I just don't, I really don't want it. Perfect. Now you're avoiding all those follow ups. Like in our agency, we follow up with quoted people every single day. So remove it. Like it's a waste of time if they truly don't. But you got to be able to, what we call peel the onion. I know you guys have heard me say this before. It's getting down to the real objection. If the real objection is they just absolutely don't want it whatsoever, cool. But the first objection is never the real objection. So you got to remove the objection to see if there are any other objections that are stopping them. So I hope that was super helpful. This is another playbook. I am Jason Feldman, and hit that subscribe button if you don't have it smashed right now.